Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Discovery Plus is the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Woohoo! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Imagine the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet, all in one place. Go ahead. Dare to stream with Discovery Plus. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, Food Network, and more. If you can dream it, you can stream it. See what I did there? Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
All right, it's the Fantasy Hack for Week 13. Final week. Here in a 13-week league. I'm Chris. With me are JR and Jack.
Hey, everybody. It's popping.
Yeah, so.
Feels like an eternity since the regular games were played. We finally got that Ravens-Steelers game played, and it didn't have a good outcome for me. That Steelers defense scored one too many points and gave me a 1-point loss in my big money league, which cost me a playoff clinching victory. So I got to win against Jack next week, or I have to have help from someone else losing.
Yeah,
that's the breaks.
I ended up pulling off a win by less than 2 points in a league where I'm currently defending my title. I was playing for first place. I was playing against Big Ben and Juju going into that game. And it was, especially when that McSorley threw that touchdown and then the Steelers had to go on offense again. I was like, son of a bitch. You couldn't just go 3 and out, McSorley.
It's never easy in fantasy.
Yeah, it made me sweat that win out. And I'll tell you, and I heard it was the longest NFL regular season week ever. It was like 150 hours or something like that.
It does seem like it was a marathon, and it all wasn't over to me until the fourth quarter of that last game when the Ravens got sacked for the final time. That put Steelers 1 point defense, 1 point more than I needed them. I even had the tiebreaker, so that's what it came down to. One late sack cost me a victory.
What about
and a playoff clinching berth.
But I mean, that's why we play, right? I love when it comes down to the final game of the week. Those are some of the best. I mean, last year my fantasy championship literally came down to the final Monday night game. I won it by like a fraction of a point. Those are the best matchups, in my opinion, even if you lose them, because it's still you're involved the entire time.
Yep.
What about you, Jack?
I got absolutely screwed in my 2 big leagues. So first of all, the money league guy puts up 202 points when I even had Tyreek Hill. So I had Kirk, who gave me 27, AP and Duke, who combined for 30 points in the Thanksgiving games. Pittman killed me with the 2 points. Tyreek Hill put up 51, and I still lost. And then in the other league, which isn't a money league, but it's all my friends, and the loser, the worst team, the worst person in the league, has to jump in the lake if you lose. And I'm tied with 3 others in the last place right now, and the guy who's playing me, who's also in last, put up 200 again, and I had the second highest score in the league. So in both of those leagues, I had the second highest score in the league, and the guy I was playing put up 200 points. Man. It was absolutely excruciating watching football this week. It was terrible. Yep. But, I mean, other than that, in the other leagues, I'm actually doing pretty well. And I have a lot of teams where I'm 7-4 right now, a few 8-3s. So, I mean, in the leagues that don't matter, I'm doing good. But in the 2 main ones, I'm getting absolutely just shafted on these.
Well, we got a plan for this Sunday. Jack and I are golfing. So we're going to take a break from the red zone and let the chips fall where they may.
Man, I feel like
we'll be checking our phones, but
I feel like I've been going on this rant for the last month, but my big money league, which it's over, I had to win this week. I'm going to end up being in like 7th or 8th place, and there's 6 playoff spots. So it was must win. I had to win. But once again, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins, Ezekiel Elliott. Thanks for less than 20 points.
Yep.
This team is killing me. It is absolutely killing me. You know, I throw up my hands in this league. It's like next year I'm gonna just totally do something not unorthodox with my draft strategy because, like, on paper this team it's a 12-team league too, so it's not like waivers or anything great every week, and it's just. I mean, I won the only plus with this league is I've won points twice, so essentially this league will cost me $40 this year. I mean, whatever. And there's still a chance to win it again, but my God, man, like it's are Tyler Lockett and D-Hop broken? Like, we know what Zeke's problem is, but I guess we'll get to them.
Yeah, speaking of Zeke, I got 1 point out of Zeke, my number one draft pick, and I lost by a point. All he has to do is not fumble, and I would have won. But he got a -2 for his fumble. So even his paltry 32 yards rushing didn't help me because they were negated by the fumble. Number one draft choice gets you 1 point, and you lose by a point. Zeke is on my bench for the rest of the year. I wish I could have traded him, but no one took the bait. Dead to me. Won't draft him ever again. The rest of his career.
Wow.
And he'll probably have a gigantic year next year because I say that.
Yeah, no, I hear he was the team I'm complaining about him on. He was my number one pick, and I'm with you. I feel like I wasted it.
Yep, the Cowboys are kryptonite to me. I can't stand them. I'm an Eagles fan, and every time I draft the Cowboys, something bad happens. It's just karma. So I know it goes against what you're supposed to do in fantasy. You're supposed to put your heart aside for this, but Cowboys just don't seem to work out for me. So live and learn.
Well, be thankful because that same league I put Saquon number one. So, be thankful.
Yeah, I had a team like that too.
No, and Alvin Kamara owners are pretty upset this week. Latavius Murray took all the
2 touchdowns. Yeah,
they basically rested Kamara because they didn't need him against a quarterbackless Broncos team that completed more interceptions than passes to their own guys.
Yeah, a Taysom Hill Broncos or a Taysom Hill Saints team seems to mean a quiet Alvin Kamara. It seems
so far it sure does.
Kamara needs Breeze to shine, which horrible timing going into the fantasy playoffs.
Which doesn't make any sense to me. You'd think they run more with like the less experienced quarterback, but nope.
Not because he's a runner, right? So he could do the running himself. Should we talk about waivers? What there is of waivers this week?
Well, I want to say something real quick. I know you guys have been going at it for a long time here, pretty much the whole season, but Will Fuller suspended, PEDs.
I knew it.
Wow.
I knew he couldn't be good.
He was on the roids.
I knew it. He was getting help.
Stuck up for him, and he has produced. But now we know why.
I knew all of a sudden in year 5, you just all of a sudden didn't become good. It's just, yeah. I mean, it's if you were enjoying his benefits, you're screwed because it's over.
So is Deshaun Watson owners are screwed because aren't they down to like their 3rd or 4th receiver?
Yeah, thank God he can run.
Down to
Kiki Kuti.
Haven't heard that name in a couple seasons.
We have a Cam Akers sighting, but he had like a big 60-yard run that got almost all of his production. So I would temper my expectations there. That's still a 3-headed monster you probably don't want to be involved in the Rams' backfield.
Yeah. And the Rams got exposed to this. The NFL power rankings came out last week, and they were a top 5 team. I was like, no way. And then the ship was righted for me this week with losing to the 49ers. The Rams are not good. I don't understand why people think that they're
I thought they were pretty good, but this game was like embarrassing. I was like, really? You lost to the Niners just as they were gaining steam. They had what? They were like 2nd place in the division, and they were like in the hunt for 1st. I mean, people still have them rated as a top 3 defense, which I kind of agree with. McVay's been doing pretty good with he doesn't have exactly good running backs, at least in Indianapolis and Baltimore. There's 3 good running backs, but with the Rams, they didn't have talent there. McVay was putting together a good offense, but I can't tell you what happened this week, but if you're a 49ers fan, you're pissed because everybody was hurt and you guys were like kind of tanking there for a bit. Now you're winning a few games. Yeah. So what's the deal here? You're stuck in mediocrity. I'd be pissed.
Well, you
have a team that's not going to contend. You have a team that you want to lose to get a higher draft pick, and they're winning. So
well, they got Debo back. They got Mostert back. They started getting some semblance of their offense back. But I hear you. But
the Rams are a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never know what you're going to get on any given week.
The best
beaters one week and flops the next.
The best I see is their first round team. They'll make it. They'll go one round. They'll play one extra game, and we'll see you next fall. Like that to me, that's best case scenario for the Rams this year.
And that's what'll happen to whoever wins the NFC East as well. They'll be one and done.
Ooh.
They'll be bounced immediately. It's not worth winning that division. As an Eagles fan, I'm now looking for draft position because it doesn't matter who wins that putrid division. They're not going to win a playoff game. None of those teams have a prayer.
There was talk Carson Wentz was going to be benched. Jalen Hurts was taking first team reps.
I was hoping he would.
Of course there is.
Peterson's too stubborn. And they leave Hurts in for 2 plays. He completes a pass, and then they bring Wentz in on third down to throw an incompletion, and they punt. At least give the guy a series. See what he can do. But
I wish there was just an outstanding winner of the NFC East because they wouldn't be doing that right now. At 3-8, normally they just roll the dice with whoever they got. I mean, Eagles receivers do lead the league in drops. They're bums, but I mean, Wentz is having a bad year. But why does the entire division have to suck? Why can't Dallas just be really good so the Eagles can actually do something with Jalen Hurts?
I think Dallas would be really good if they hadn't lost Dak, but they're a train wreck now.
Yeah, no, that defense was a liability, but yeah, Dak was on track for an MVP-like season. But the fact that all of a sudden the Giants are in first place just blows my mind.
And now Daniel Jones is hurt.
Yeah, and then the football team's right behind.
No one wants it.
Yeah,
go ahead, take it.
Yeah, and your Eagles are still in the hunt, guys. That tie might end up saving your butt. You never know.
I would rather end up with the 6th pick and Jamar Chase, which is what we're at right now if the season were to end. I'll gladly take the 6th pick.
There's so many need on the Eagles. There's a million players they could draft there that could help them. The problem is their drafts in recent years have not yielded. They could have had DK Metcalf. Instead, they took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. They could have had Justin Jefferson. Instead, they took Jalen Reagor.
Sounds like a team near me, where I'm sitting right now.
At least they fired their coach.
Oh, finally.
Good job.
Early Christmas present for you.
And Bob Quinn. Goodbye.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not saving the season. I mean,
it's still got to be satisfying.
I mean, technically, they're not going to finish sub 500 yet, and they lose 2 more games they're going to. But and Tom Brady's coming to town, and we still got Aaron Rodgers again. So there's the 2. So, but yeah, Thanksgiving Day was ugly. You made the Houston Texans, who are not great this year by any stretch, look like playoff contenders. It's the Patriots West experiment is over. Bring on Jim Harbaugh. That's a classic Lions move. I could see that happening because his seat's on fire in Ann Arbor. He wouldn't have to move. He's had NFL experience.
That would be an interesting one. I don't think he's going to last too much longer in Michigan. I think he has 1 year left on his contract. I don't know if he'll be a lame duck this year or whether they'll send him packing. But
that's just the Lions' move. That's what they would do.
I can't imagine 97-1. They'd have a field day with that.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, I heard a stat today that
from all these bad teams and talk about better football because. Sure, listeners would rather not hear about putrid play of the Lions and Eagles.
Right. How about those Steelers?
What about injuries this week? Was Josh Jacobs is hurt. Devontae Booker might be a handcuff for him.
Yeah, that's a sexy waiver wire name this week.
People are picking up Ben Snell.
I've already cautioned you, don't go there. He had one long run that gave him made him look good in the stat sheet. Don't touch it. Don't go for it.
Who, Cam Akers?
Dear Lord.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Well, you hate to see when a joke becomes reality, but Kiki Kuti is in third place on top ads this week in Yahoo leagues. That's just painful.
I mean, I'd be running to add Randall Cobb right now if I'm a Deshaun Watson owner.
Randall Cobb. Oh no, Randall Cobb injured reserve. Kenny Stills waivers. Will Fuller gone. So
now Kenny Stills
was QT coming in.
No, it is QT because Stills was cut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine being a Texans fan right now.
Yeah.
Man.
What's it? You're looking at a team like Tampa Bay and go, hey, can you spare one of those receivers?
Scotty Miller would start.
Yeah, but I mean, who else? I mean, we brought up some waiver wire picks. Anyone else really you'd target this week?
Well,
not really. There are 5 weeks, right?
Carolina, Tampa Bay, and then they're done. No more bye weeks.
Well, that's going to cost me Chris Godwin in a few leagues. It's going to cost Mike Davis.
Oh, it's going to cost me Christian McCaffrey. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I'm hoping CMC comes back after this bye week.
It cost me DJ Moore, who, had he not got injured and got me one more point, I would have won that league. Fantasy gods are not kind to me this week. Although I lost 87 to 86, you could argue that 86 probably doesn't deserve to win anyway.
Yeah, no, I had a couple.
Jack scored 135 and lost by almost 70.
Yep.
Well, no, too. Now I had a few teams that didn't even break 100, and this was a full strength week. This was no one on bye.
Yeah, well, count me in that.
Trey Burton second straight week with a touchdown.
Oh man,
it's hard. Just rolling the dice.
Then I guess that means he's actually worth.
I'm just saying him because we have to say something for this segment.
Yeah,
that's at the end of the day.
Well, no, I mean,
and we got our.
If you need a tight end, yeah, he's a thing, I guess.
Then we got our weekly. Who's playing the Jets? It's
Yeah,
the Las Vegas Raiders. However, Las Vegas Raiders have taken negative points defensively last 2 weeks, losing 6-43 against the Atlanta Falcons and 31-35 to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Defense.
That is a terrible defense. It was a joke.
all right. Any other waiver ads before we go through the games?
All right, Frank Gore, season high in Miami.
God, 59-year-old Frank Gore.
I think he's leaving the league next year. Man, that's tough. I love seeing Frank Gore suit up on Sunday.
He's gonna go out over. That's gotta piss him off. Didn't he tweet about that?
That sucks.
Like, didn't he tweet like, I can't go out like that?
Yeah.
You're probably,
Come on, can the Jets like cut him and just have him sign like a BS deal with like the Chiefs or something like LaShawn McCoy did last year?
Yeah,
all want.
Yeah,
but all NFL fans want.
Or the Niners sign him for like a day so he can retire as a 49er.
Yeah, I think that's what he plans on doing. Apparently, he's going to sign like a 1 day contract with the 49ers and do like one of those ceremony retirements.
Well, like Iverson did that in basketball, right?
Yeah.
He signed for Philly for a day so he could retire a Sixer. So yeah, I guess no Thursday night football this week.
Nope.
Now, is that because
continue to mess with the schedule? No Thursday nighter because of them, but you'll get it on Tuesday night. Isn't it the Ravens and the Cowboys next Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So yes.
Yeah.
So no Thursday night, but you'll get another week where you got to wait a day to see if you make the playoffs.
And we get a Monday doubleheader. So.
Oh yeah, is that right?
Yep. So yeah, I mean, there's like silver linings to all this.
Washington at Pittsburgh and Buffalo at San Francisco. Oh no, at Arizona. Against the 49ers here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Because San Francisco is not allowed to have a home game because of the COVID crisis and Santa Clara County not allowing contact sports.
Hey, Silver linings. We're getting extra football, and you're getting extra football out there in the desert.
Yeah, it's the Buffalo Bills. Remember was it Buffalo play Green Bay and Detroit?
No, it was
Minnesota Green Bay.
There was
because the roof collapsed.
No, it wasn't that. There was a game like 5-6 years ago, and it was a Bills Jets game.
In Buffalo.
Yeah, it was a Bills Jets game, and the Bills stadium, the blizzard had rolled through Buffalo, and they deemed that the game could not be played because there was like feet of snow. I don't remember what it was. There was like a ridiculous amount of snow on the ground, so they moved the game to Detroit, and they played it on. It was either a Monday night or a Sunday night. I know it wasn't on Sunday. It was a Monday or a Thursday game, and me and my dad went to the game because you could just. It was weird. You could get like free tickets. Free tickets, and they were general admission.
An NFL game for free.
Hell yeah! I mean, that's hundreds of dollars.
Than most Lions games.
Yeah,
it was very weird. There was like a bunch of Lions fans there. It was the weirdest thing. You're going to a game at a neutral site. It was very odd.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast, and check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Discovery Plus is the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Woohoo! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
Well, speaking of Lions, they're kicking off the 1 o'clock slate. Lions and the Bears. Boy.
It's going to be a sleeper.
Mitch Trubisky. Pick him up.
Yeah, I guess.
He has been named the starter, and the Detroit defense can't stop anybody. Although maybe without Patricia there, they'll be motivated to play better.
Are Swift and Galladay going to be back?
Swift, I heard, will be back. Of course, just in time for Jack to start him against me this week.
Absolutely.
We'll be back, but the Chicago defense is pretty stellar against the run.
I'll tell you, the only fantasy player I'm starting with confidence in this game, probably TJ Hawkinson.
Yep, and maybe Matt Prater.
Yeah, like Allen Robinson, maybe a flex, maybe, but Trubisky's back in, so his Allen Robinson had better value with Foles. And David Montgomery's always just a crapshoot. So
David Montgomery actually had a decent game, but he had, I think, one long run that bolstered his stats. But hey, one long run and counts.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been pretty low on him. If he's going to have a good game, though, against the Lions, probably could be this week.
The problem is, though, every time the phrase "Hey, David Montgomery had a good game" is only said about once a month. That is the issue.
Probably it for the year for him. That was probably
his. He's not consistent. He's been one of he's been a guy that
has any of my rosters.
He's a guy that fantasy pundits have been trying to foist on us for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and he's just he's nothing. He's not going to be anything.
Yep.
Saints and Falcons. Had potential to be a better matchup at the beginning of the season. The Falcons have the ship righted, I guess, compared to the road they were heading down. But still, Saints.
You just don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, the only Saint I would start with, you have to start Kamara, right? I'm not starting with confidence, but you have to start him, right?
Yep.
And then Michael Thomas, and then the Saints side of the ball. The Falcons side of the ball.
I think the Saints defense has value.
Yeah.
They've been playing very well, the defense.
Is Julio hurt again?
Julio missed last week, so we'll have to see whether he plays this week.
So Ridley?
I've got him on my roster. I hope he plays, but even if you put him in, he could last a quarter and be gone again. That's what happened the last time he played, so can't rely on him. Todd Gurley, I think, is either injured or has been replaced. Wasn't he hurt last week? And Brian Hill, was who I picked up in a couple leagues, did nothing. He scored like 3 points.
Sounds about right.
So probably no Atlanta running backs. Gurley's touchdown dependent even when he's healthy.
Yeah. Browns, Titans. Both of these teams seem to be on the cusp of something. Of what? I don't know.
Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt probably are start worthy.
That's it in the Browns uniform, if you ask me.
Didn't Landry have a good week last week?
He did, but we won't hear from him for another month.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, I'm not in on any Cleveland pass catcher.
Take the under in this game. You got Derrick Henry against Nick Chubb. I mean, this should be a war of running backs.
Yeah, and then the Titans, you're starting Henry. A.J. Brown still continues to produce.
Dare I mention Corey Davis?
God damn it, he is mentioned.
Scored against me again in that league that I lost by a point in.
He's at least in the flex conversation now, unfortunately. Probably in time enough for us to burn all of you by telling you to put him in your flex spot. Bengals, Dolphins. Start your Dolphins?
Take a look at that Miami defense and also take a look at Fitzpatrick if he plays. He's a much better fantasy quarterback than Tua is. But yes. I have heard that Tua will be the starter when he's healthy, regardless of how well Fitzpatrick playing. It's got to be a really frustrating gig for Fitzpatrick right now. He has that team rolling. He's clearly the better choice, but Miami just wants to see what they have in the young guy, and it's stupid because they're in the playoff hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you play your best guy? And, there's plenty of time to see what Tua's got.
Devontae Parker continues to produce.
Yeah, and Mike Gesicki found the end zone because Fitzpatrick actually throws to him. Tua doesn't.
I'll tell you this, though, too. You mentioned the Miami defense. I'm riding 3 defenses this year on my 5 teams. Miami, Indy, and Baltimore. I mean, another good performance this week. The Miami defense the last few weeks has been putting up the low wide receiver numbers, so I can't complain with them there as far as their fantasy performance. The Bengals, nothing, right?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Forget the Gio Bernard. I picked him up in a bunch of leagues, and even when I start him, he's nothing.
Yeah.
4 points. 4 points is what you can expect from Gio. No, thank you.
Vikings, Jags. Adam Thielen coming off the COVID-19 list. Thank God.
I was kind of
I need him
off because I have a lot of Jefferson, and now Jefferson's going to go back to second fiddle.
Well, I mean, Thielen's lead,
and
he's leading the league in touchdowns. I didn't know that.
Dalvin Cook owners, beware. He dinged his ankle up last week, and there's rumblings that he may not get a full workload this week if he plays at all. So, Alex Madison, if you don't have him as your handcuff, you better try to get him. And if he's on waivers in your league, go grab him.
Mm-hmm.
No guarantees. Cook may still play, but he is banged up, and he's one hit away from Madison taking over.
Now, the only must-start Jag is James Robinson, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. Chark was inactive last week. I don't know if he'll even be.
And he's been wildly inconsistent.
Yeah, there's nobody else other than Robinson that you can really trust.
But James he's going to have to be in conversation for one of the best fantasy finds of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
Undrafted free agent, was behind Leonard Fournette like a week before the season. Fournette ends up going to Tampa Bay, and then all of a sudden he gets his shot, and he has made something every week. Like
I think he got like 130 yards last week.
In addition to being one of the best waiver wire finds of the year, just one of the most consistent fantasy performers of the year.
Yeah, who would have thought he would be far and away better than Zeke this year?
Yeah.
And it's a fact.
And then, you want to know, and then that's it from the Jags offense, because who's quarterback this week? Not Gardner Minshew, not Luton. Who is it?
Mike Glennon.
Yeah, I would say it's somebody from the past. Yeah. So, and then Raiders, Jets. Yeah, start all your Raiders.
All of them.
Yeah.
Even Derek Carr might have a spot start this week.
Now, is Josh Jacobs hurt?
He is hurt. I think it's Devontae Booker is his backup.
That's correct.
I don't know if Jacobs is ruled out. I know he's questionable. So do your homework. If you've got Jacobs, you might want to pick up Booker as insurance. And unless you're really, really desperate, the ageless Frank Gore is the only Jet that I can even think of that should be on your radar. That's just that's two bad defenses in this game.
Yeah.
Don't the Jets have a receiver that's worthy?
I think Crowder.
Jamison Crowder. This might be, if there's ever a week that he might put some points up, it could be this week. But man, if you're scraping the bottom of the barrel for Frank Gore or Jamison Crowder, then you're probably already out of the playoff hunt.
Good luck in the consolation bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, Waller for Las Vegas is no brainer.
Yeah. Even though we had an off week.
Maybe Ruggs. Those guys are probably flex consideration at best.
Colts, Texans.
So I was reading on RotoWire that if you're desperate for a quarterback, this could be a week to play Rivers against Houston's defense.
I picked up Phillip Rivers in a league 3 weeks ago, and he's done what I've needed him to do. I've had no complaints picking up Phillip Rivers. He has met or exceeded his projections every week. All I need you to do if you're on my fantasy team, just meet your bare minimum, meet your projections. He's done what I've drafted him to do. So
we already talked a little bit about Houston. What do you do with them? There's no receivers left. Duke Johnson, I think I read David Johnson will be back this week. I heard that on Sirius XM today. So, but that Colts defense is pretty stellar.
Yeah.
I would not feel comfortable starting any Houston players this week. Maybe Deshaun Watson, but who's he going to throw the ball to?
I mean, he's got value because of his feet, but still, it's
not a pretty picture.
Darren Fells partying right now.
This could be the swan song for Bill O'Brien. Oh no, Bill O'Brien's already gone.
Oh yeah, he's been way gone.
I don't know what Deshaun Watson has to look forward to here. There's no receivers left. He's stuck with David Johnson and Duke Johnson, Johnson in the backfield. Houston's just and as bad as that is, look how they tore apart Detroit last week. But that was with the steroided up Will Fuller, who's no longer in. Who's now suspended.
And then the Colts. Other than Phillip, I mean.
I don't know what you do with that running back. That's that three-headed monster.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, Jordan Wilkins. Taylor was on the COVID list last week. There's a chance he may not be off in time for this week. That can only help if at least one of those guys is out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
But do you really want either of the others? Probably not.
That was going to be my rant this week because what are you doing, Colts? You put in Jacoby Brissett at the 1 yard line and have him QB sneak and he scores 2 rushing touchdowns? I had Hines and what? Come on, man. Really? It's a 1 yard line. It's a no-brainer. Just hand it off to the running back. It's 1st and 10. But no, you give it to Jacoby Brissett on the 1 yard line and he jumps into the end zone? If that's just that was just pissing me off. I was like, really? Why?
No, really not too much going on with Indy.
Nope.
Yeah.
Good team, good defense. The defense is probably the best playing this whole game is the Colts defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. Rams Cardinals. Man, is D-Hop broken? Like it has been a month.
That was a bad game
since he's had a good game. What's going on, buddy? I need you.
This is what people have been saying. The people think the Cardinals are overrated, and
I think they're doubling and tripling D-Hop, and they're saying D-Hop some other way. That's what they're doing.
That's what they're saying. People are saying that all you got to do is beat the Cardinals, neutralize D-Hop, and you win. And that's worked. I was shocked.
The two biggest threats are D-Hop and Kyler Murray running. So if you design your defense to stop those two things, what else is there? Christian Kirk?
Yeah.
Gerald's not in there now. He's got COVID positive test.
I'll say, coincidentally, those are the only two players you want to start. Murray and D-Hop. Everyone else,
Yep.
Captain Kirk flex consideration at best.
Yeah. And
especially might be worthy.
And especially in this game because they're playing the Rams, so definitely D-Hop will probably be double teamed. But who do you is any Rams player worth a confident start?
No.
Nope. It's just blank by committee, receiver by committee.
Yeah.
Running back by committee, even tight end. You got Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee. You just never know. It's annoying.
I'm of the opinion if you're
shooting darts.
Yeah, if you're starting a Ram this year, you need the body. You need this, and I've been starting Malcolm Brown on a couple teams the last couple of weeks because I need the body. Giants Seahawks. Oof. Sorry, Giants fans. You come back to reality this week. No Giants at all, right? Zero. Absolutely no Giants.
I think against that Seattle defense. Normally, the Eagles didn't pick apart their secondary, but everyone else has. But there's no Daniel Jones. So I don't even know who's
Colt McCoy. Colt
McCoy is not going to light up any secondary, except maybe might give the other secondary a pick six. I've been actually pleasantly surprised with Wayne Gallman, so that might be an option, maybe at flex. But that's about it. I don't know. Evan Engram, can you trust Colt McCoy to get him the ball?
Can you trust Colt McCoy to do anything? It ain't 2015.
No, it's too bad. If Daniel Jones was in, I think this would be a much better situation. You might be able to start a receiver or two. You could probably count on Engram, and that would open things up for Gallman. But it's probably going to be an ugly game to watch, and it's in Seattle, even though there's no crowd factor. This could be ugly.
The only thing you need to know is that the last time we saw Colt McCoy was when he was on the Skins, and he played like 2 games and then blew his knee out. Yeah, and that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, there's very low expectations in New York. Seattle, you're starting Russ Ken Cook. You're starting DK Metcalf and Lockett.
What's going on with Tyler Lockett?
He had that one big
is stealing all of his
pretty quiet since then.
Yeah, he's killing me. I got him on a few teams. He is killing me. You're another guy. I need you. Where are you at? Come back, Tyler Lockett. Be the Tyler Lockett you were in October.
And I don't know if Chris Carson, I think he came back but didn't play a lot last week.
Hyde got most of the carries, but Carson made the most of his.
Yeah, so I think if Carson plays, you start him. I wouldn't start Hyde. You're rolling the dice even with Carson because he's still banged up, but he's the better back, clearly.
Hey, speaking of ugly games, the Eagles and Packers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we picked a good day to go golfing, Jack.
Embrace Chase. We want him.
I'm happy I won't be here. If it weren't for the pandemic, I was actually supposed to go to Lambeau Field this year. The company I work for has tickets. But since there's the COVID pandemic is blown up, no chance I would be going there. And I don't think there's fans there. And if there are, there's not many. And I won't be in Green Bay. And I'm kind of glad because this is not the year I want to go to Lambeau Field to see my Eagles get embarrassed. This should be a lopsided game. Probably good for my fantasy teams because both of them, I have Aaron Rodgers, who I can start with the utmost confidence. Devontae Adams could have 300 yards receiving in this game. He could have a Tyreek Hill-like day against this Philadelphia secondary. I don't even know if you're starting any Eagles. Carson Wentz is a train wreck. Miles Sanders looks good. He's averaging over 5 yards a carry, but they don't give him the ball. Inexplicable that as much success as they have running, they just abandoned the run anyway. And it's not like they were even down against Seattle, and they still did it. It's Doug Peterson's obsessed with passing, just like Andy Reid used to be, and just not a pretty picture. Zach Ertz has been activated. He'll probably be eased back in, so that probably takes value away from Dallas Goedert. The Eagles are a mess, and I'm going to be avoiding them. The only Eagle I would probably start is Miles Sanders, and even that's tainted by the coaching staff's inability to commit to the run.
Hey,
but start your Packers.
Travis Fulgham, thanks for October, but you and I need to part ways.
3-game wonder.
No, he's and it's not his fault. It's they're playing other players instead of him. They're not giving them the targets they used to give him. And Alshon Jeffrey, he's a statue. He shouldn't even be activated for any future Eagles games.
It's time for him to retire
this season. Bye-bye. It was great contribution in the Super Bowl year, Alshon, but that's well in the past, and I won't miss you at all, bud. I won't miss you.
Pats and Chargers.
A good game.
You're not starting any Patriot, right? Confidently at this point.
No, man. I still like Damian Harris. Something about Damian Harris I like.
I've had to pick up and start James White begrudgingly in a few leagues. He's worked out, but I mean, again,
James White and PPR, yes.
The PPR god himself.
Damian Harris is good in the standard league, though.
Yes.
The other side of the ball, though, I mean, Justin Herbert, still a locked-in starter. Keenan Allen is pretty much a starter at this point. What about this Chargers backfield?
None of them. Because it was Kalen Ballage, and then he got hurt. Kalen Ballage.
But then Eckler came back.
You're probably starting Eckler, but he didn't impress last week fantasy-wise, did he? What was his point production? I didn't hear too much about him. I'm not sure that you can not start him, though. I mean, depending on who else is on your roster, he's a consideration.
Yeah, he had a good day. 14 rushes, 44 yards. He caught 11 catches for 85 yards, though.
So PPR relevant, but not
PPR king.
Yep.
And then, Hunter Henry. He's a serviceable tight end. Broncos, Chiefs. Broncos will have all their quarterbacks healthy this week.
And it won't matter.
Yeah. I mean, did it? Yeah, and against the Chiefs. Yeah, have fun.
Melvin Gordon will probably get 3 points this week. I think Philip Lindsay's injured. I think he's questionable.
Yeah,
and that might be good news for Gordon owners. At least he should get the bulk of the carries. But I don't know if it's going to matter, because I think the Chiefs will have a field day scoring plenty of points, and Denver will be behind and probably abandon the run. And none of those quarterbacks, I'm not starting any Denver receivers. Are you?
No, I'm not starting anyone in a Denver uniform except Noah Fant, and he's now downgraded to maybe.
Yeah.
And then the Chiefs. I mean, Cheetah was on pace for 1,000-yard game. He ended up coming back down to earth, but the first quarter, he had 200-something yards in the first quarter?
203 yards and 2 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
ridiculous.
He won the Sporgy League game for me. I won by 20, and I got 51 out of him.
He won a lot of people's matchups this week.
That's insane.
Jack still lost by 70.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Because dude had to have Antonio Gibson, right?
40 points for Antonio Gibson.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, he's not. I mean, because the Chiefs, we know who we're starting. We don't need to belabor that. But
Kelsey, Tyree,
yeah,
Mahomes.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new. our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Imagine the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet, all in one place. Go ahead. Dare to stream with Discovery Plus. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, Food Network, and more. If you can dream it, you can stream it. See what I did there? Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Of all the streaming services out there, only one is different. Discovery Plus. It's the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes of food, love, true crime, home, from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Yes! With stars like Chip and Jo, an exclusive new series from 90 Day Fiancé, all in one place. Bam! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
But yeah, moving to Monday, the football team taking on the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't know if Antonio Gibson's going to have quite the day against that Steeler D.
I would like to, I think I'm probably stealing it from somebody else, but I like to refer to Gibson's game last week as a fantasy mirage. Like, don't buy, like, that's not been, his performance on Thursday is not indicative of his performance the rest of the season. Don't buy it.
And it was against the Dallas defense.
Yeah.
Which has been a sieve this year.
And then, maybe Terry McLaurin, and that's about it for the Washington team. The Steelers, I mean, just pencil them in for 12-0, right?
Yep, I don't think so.
Pick a receiver. At this point, you can start them. I think I can confidently say that. Are they going to give you crazy 30, 40-point weeks? No, but they're going to give you, it seems, anywhere between 15 and 20. Ben seems to be divvying up those passes nicely. So, James Conner,
he was on the COVID list this week. He didn't play. Benny Snell played. I don't know what his stats were. But I didn't watch much of that game, but what I heard, Pittsburgh, neither team looked very, very good.
They did. It was weird. Like, both offenses were struggling. There was a lot of 3-and-outs.
This is going to be very strange playing at 5 p.m. on the East Coast on Monday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys are going to get your mid-afternoon football on.
And, 3 o'clock for us. And we got Pittsburgh, coming off a short week. They just played today. They're only going to have 5 days.
Yeah, but, I mean, James Conner's in that bottom tier of running backs, though. I mean, Pittsburgh's getting it all done through the air. I mean, yeah, and today he threw 51 times.
Wow.
That's a lot. It was against the banged-up Ravens, but still. But Ben's, I think I ask this every week, he's a starter now, right?
Yep. The way they're throwing the ball, for sure.
Yeah. Is Ebron still in the tight end conversation, or is he he's touchdown dependent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people have him rostered. He was 80% rostered in Yahoo leagues, and he leads tight ends and ads. I guess if you just need like a bench guy, why not?
So he's in the warm body category.
I think he's in the I've drafted Austin Hooper and I need someone better on my bench category.
Yeah.
Perfect analogy. Have to agree with you.
Bills 49ers.
Really? Josh Allen.
Yeah.
In Arizona again.
Mm-hmm. Man, yeah, you're starting him, you're starting Diggs. That's it for Buffalo. He's not a running back, I can confidently tell you to start on the Buffalo side of the ball.
Don't drink Zach Moss Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
For what, the third time this year?
Zach Moss is basically good for a potential goal line back. That's about it.
Yeah.
Devin Singletary, forget about it.
No tight end of note.
What do you do at San Francisco? Do you start Raheem Mostert?
I think you have to. That's the volume play.
Debo, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, with no Jimmy G throwing to him, his value's kind of garbage.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a very big fantasy game unless you have Josh Allen in your lineup.
Yeah.
Everything else is a big question mark, and there's just no guarantees anywhere else except for with Josh Allen. That's my take.
Well, speaking of no guarantees, how about Tuesday Night Football? Cowboys and Ravens. Both of these teams full of no guarantees. Not even Lamar, money in the bank, Jackson.
This game will even take place on time.
Yeah.
That'll be Jack's birthday, too.
Yep.
Well, maybe
let's see if the game gets played.
Maybe see the Cowboys lose on your birthday. Present for you.
Start McSorley.
Yeah. Trace McSorley could be the folk hero if Lamar Jackson's not back.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, Lamar should be. He traveled. He was on the field because he's off the COVID list. He just wasn't activated.
He'll be back for this then.
Yeah.
Which could be a nice break for some of us who have. My dilemma will be I have Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers. So do you start Lamar Jackson against Dallas or Rodgers against the Eagles?
Rodgers.
I'm going to tell you right now that Jackson has been wildly inconsistent.
Yep.
And Rodgers, the few times I've gambled and benched him, he's had huge days. So I've decided that I will not be benching him anymore. But that being said, if you have Lamar on your roster, Dallas is certainly ripe for the picking.
He's like the only fantasy player I had in this game I'd start with confidence, because I'm not confident in any Cowboy. And all Zeke and Amari Cooper are designated to flex consideration till further notice for me. And then same with the Ravens, who, for anyone who's not Lamar, I mean, and that's a maybe. I mean, Andrews,
I might have no choice but to start Zeke. I'm going to have to take a look at what other options I have, but I'm not confident that he's going to put many points against that Ravens D.
I mean, Andrews will be back. He should be done with his COVID by then, but Brown is not a locked-in starter. I mean, it's neither running back for the Ravens. I mean, and the Cowboys are just a mess without Dak. I mean, the best thing for Dak Prescott was to get injured this year because he gave Jerry Jones a preview into life without him.
And look at Zeke. Zeke, just look at his body language. He doesn't look like he's playing with any fire. He's like going through the motions. Doesn't seem like he wants to be out there.
Yeah, he's just probably like, is the season over yet?
You have no idea how close it was to just dropping him.
Oh, man.
But I knew the minute I did that, somebody'd pick him up and he'd have a 3-point day.
Yeah.
But if I hold on to him, he won't score more than 5 this week. So he'll just ride pine probably.
Yep. And that's week 13. All right. If you're in a ESPN Standard or most leagues, it's your final week. Some of you play 14 weeks. I know the 8-team league I'm in is playing 14 weeks because it was the choice. It was played 13 weeks, and our Super Bowl be in week 15, or play 14 weeks, and it's in week 16 like normal. So, no bye week. We're playing 14 weeks. But final week of the regular season, it flew by. And, and hopefully we can get through the rest of the season without, we had some COVID iffiness again. And I have a feeling this week was probably the latest things could go before it would ruin. Maybe they go into Thursday and Friday, but I don't know. We're going to see.
Didn't they bake in a week 18 in case we needed it?
I think it's still there. It's still on the table. I know all the teams tightened up their COVID protocols, though. And I think Monday and Tuesday, every NFL facility was shut down just because. So it's not pretty out there. There's a lot of COVID going around all over the country, and they're expecting even more surges after so many people traveled for Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah.
My family canceled our flights to Louisiana to see my dad. We stayed home, and I wish more people had done that, but it is what it is.
But then again, too, these guys have been traveling. They get tested every day. I think they'll be all right.
Every single time something's happened, they've been able to trace it to one person making a mistake.
Yep. Yeah, this time I think it was
usually that guy gets fired. Yeah, it was a strength and conditioning coach for the Ravens.
Yep.
I think he was fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at all the commotion. His one mistake cost, how many times has this game moved? I mean, it affected, a lot of people.
Yeah,
It always comes back to the money, though. It's the money. That's the driving factor, and that's why they're not going to cancel any of these games.
Yeah,
if the game gets canceled, the league loses money.
A lot of fans were furious that the Broncos were forced to play on time with no quarterback, and the Ravens got a pass multiple times because the league wanted this Steelers-Ravens game to be featured.
Well, because
I liked what the safety for the Broncos said in the press conference. He said he thought the league was making an example out of them to see what happens. They're not going to just special treat. He was just saying that what they did was wrong, and the NFL was just making an example out of the team. Like, you do this, I'm just going to punish you.
People on the Ravens actually had COVID. The guys on the Broncos had just been around somebody who was around somebody. If they want to get into that, I mean the league should have just made the Ravens or the Broncos forfeit. That was a mockery of the game. Yeah,
I mean, come on, you had one completion and 2 picks with no quarterbacks. I mean, that wasn't even that. To put that product on the field is a travesty. That's a mockery of the game, and that should never have been allowed to happen.
Can you imagine if Kamara got hurt or something? People would have been furious.
Take away a draft pick, do something else, but don't put such a poor product on the field that it's not even a real game. I mean, I was watching Red Zone, and when they would show us that, it was pathetic. I can't imagine if anybody that had to sit and watch that whole game.
If that had been the Chiefs, they'd have scored 100 points playing the Bronco team. Like that, if that was this week,
Hill would have had 400 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that would have been ugly. We just saw We just saw a triple-digit NFL score.
Well, that should never be allowed to happen again. The league, I hope, doesn't do anything stupid like that. But anyway, let's hope this weekend goes off without any more COVID problems. And to our listeners, stay safe out there. And good luck in your Week 13. Those of you that are fighting for that playoff berth like I am, good luck to you. Hope it works out.
Yeah,
those of you that are already clinched a berth, look at those next few weeks and pick up some players on waivers or free agency that might help you during the playoff run.
Yeah, I have to win in our Sporgy League. I have to. I just beat the guy in front of me, and if I lose this week, we'll have the same record. He has more points than me, so it's must win. Even though I'm a game up on him right now, if I lose and he wins, he's going to go to the playoffs, and it's going to be a feat if that Sporgy team makes the playoffs, because that's the team I've been hobbled all year. With my two starting running backs right now are in IR, the CMC and David Johnson. So it'd just be a feat if that team even gets anywhere near the playoffs. So, hey, is it time to get bold?
Yes, it is.
It is.
And I have been on an absolute cold streak. What I picked. Okay, to my defense, they had 8 starters out, and they didn't have Mark Andrews or last year's MVP. And I think they would have won that game. I think they would have pulled it out with Lamar. And I said Flacco would get 300 yards and he didn't even play. So
I went half cold
300 yards
this week.
How'd you do?
All right. Well, let's see what we got here. I have last week's predictions. I have Chris picking the Chargers over Buffalo.
Wah.
That didn't hit. I picked Carolina over Minnesota, and I think the Carolina missed a late field goal that would have given them the win. Minnesota won by 1 point, so I just missed that one. And, of course, Jack's boldest of bold predictions were Baltimore to beat the Pittsburgh
the COVID Ravens, so, I mean.
And despite the valiant late heroics of Trace McSorley, it wasn't to be. So let's go to the other predictions. Tom Brady, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Chris, I don't think that materialized.
Yes, it did.
He had 3 touchdowns and 300?
I believe so.
He had, stand by, because I believe I played him in a matchup. 345, 3 TDs.
All right.
Wow.
Cha-ching. Well done. I predicted James Robinson to get 100 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if he got his touchdown, but he got 130 yards, I believe.
He covered.
So I'm going to say that was still a success. And Jack's really didn't even
play. He didn't even play. Darnold played.
Joe Flacco would throw for over 300 yards.
Hey, I'm telling you, he would have thrown for 300 yards in that defense.
Probably because the Jets would be behind the whole game.
Exactly.
So we had some mixed results there, a little bit of success. So let's go to this week. Chris, if you're ready, you can lead it off. Otherwise, I've got mine. I've already had mine pre-selected for a while here.
Go ahead.
I am going to go out on a big limb. Don't laugh too hard, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't think they're going to go undefeated. And I think coming off that short week, they didn't look good today from what I heard. I didn't see the game. I'm going to take the Washington football team to shock the Steelers.
Bold.
Very good pick, actually.
On a short week, only 5 days rest. Maybe they'll just be caught napping. So that'll be my pick. I can't believe I'm picking the WTF or WFT over Pittsburgh.
Man. A lot of these lopsided games, I can't pick the other team.
I have mine if you're not ready.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, I was go first.
Well, give me the Brownies this week. They're somehow 6-point underdogs in Tennessee. The Brownies are quietly 8-3, and so are the Titans. But Baker has been playing bad this year. He's 17-7 TD ratio. He's 180 for 294 on the season. And then we got Tanu, who's 23 TD to 4 ints. And I mean, he's having a good year, but you can't. It's so hard to defend that team. You have two Pro Bowl caliber running backs. It's got to hand it off, and I mean, it's going to be Derrick Henry versus two men this week. So let's see what happens.
It's I have mine picked, but I mean, look at all these lopsided matchups. I can't in good conscience pick the other team. JR, you already picked the football team. There's no way I'm picking the Broncos over the Chiefs. There's no way I'm picking the Eagles over the Packers. There's no way I'm picking the Giants over the Seahawks. So I'm going to go with defense wins championships. It also wins games. Give me the Niners over the Bills.
Good pick.
All right. In Arizona, nonetheless.
Yeah. It's technically they're in the same time zone. They're not traveling. Well, actually, no, they are. They're losing an hour. That's right. Arizona's the difficult one with the daylight savings.
Yep.
Let's see, individual.
I'll tell you what, I was almost going to take the Lions over the Bears. I think the Lions might respond to having gotten Patricia removed, and Chicago hasn't looked good, but I couldn't do it. Couldn't pick Detroit. Just can't do it.
Why don't you give me Fitzmagic 250 and 2 touchdowns against the Bengals?
It's not 100% that he's going to play, though, but I'll put it down. 250 and 2 touchdowns for Fitz. If Fitz doesn't play, you're going to put that on Tua?
Yes.
Guessing not.
No, yeah. I'll put that on either Miami quarterback because they're playing the Bengals.
Fitz or Tua.
Good logic.
And 2 touchdowns. Jack, you got something?
Go ahead. I'm still looking.
I'm still looking, too.
Matt Stafford, 600 yards, 5 touchdowns.
So no one ever.
Yeah.
I think he's playing the Bears this week. With an okay defense.
Jeez, what do you do here?
The Darren Bevel era will begin.
Well, jeez.
I would have picked the Rams, but they're favored in Arizona.
A lot of silence here, guys.
I was going to pick Carr against the Jets, but that seems like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, I did pick the guy against the Bengals, so I mean, there's
true
the fruit right above the low-hanging fruit.
Oh, let's see here. Let's get him up with something. This isn't going to be a very bold prediction. No, you know what? Okay. This might be pretty bold. I'm going to go say Lockett gets back with a 100-yard day.
Oh, please.
Wow. I hope you're right.
Against the Giants. I think they'll key on Metcalf, and Lockett will be the forgotten son that gets the action. So it's up to you, Jack.
Use the floor to me. Well, it's individual, so I can't really do that. In that case, let me have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both get over 100 yards rushing.
Wow,
that is bold.
That's
Baker's been playing bad, so I think we'll just hand it off.
You're going all in on everything Cleveland this week.
I did. I forgot. I picked the Brownies, didn't I? Well, whatever. High on the Browns. Nobody's giving the Browns respect. It's 8-3, and nobody cares.
I'm going to do
years of mocking the Browns.
I'm going to do one more side bet with you, Jack. I'll bet you $1. Or just a friendly gentleman's bet here that Derrick Henry outgains Chubb and Hunt combined.
Now that is a bold prediction. Combined? Really? Yeah. You're on there.
So that'll just be a little sidebar here. So, and happy birthday to Jack. The final game, actually next Tuesday when we record, will be his birthday.
Yes.
On Tuesday. So
for the record, Jack,
for Cowboys loss.
Would you like to know who the Browns have beaten? You know why they're not getting any respect?
Because they have a really easy schedule. Yeah. I know they had to play NFC East, AFC South. I mean, respectively, they do have to play the Steelers and Ravens.
Let's hear Chris out.
Toughest team they have beaten is the Colts. They have beaten the Bengals, Cincinnati, Washington, Dallas, Indianapolis, Cincinnati again, Houston, the Eagles, and the Jaguars. They have not exactly. You know when you're going to know they're for real? They got the Titans and the Ravens. Their next two games.
And I think their 3 losses are against what? Steelers?
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to
remember.
Steelers,
Raiders, and Ravens.
Wow, Raiders beat them?
Yeah. So, I mean, they have the Titans, the Ravens, and the Steelers left as the hard part of their schedule. So we're going to see. This
is the Browns, though. By Browns standards, they're having career year.
Yeah, by Browns standards, they might as well be going to the playoffs.
That's right.
When's the last year they made the playoffs? I think it's like 1981.
No. I think it's like 2002. I think it was 2002 or it was 98. Something like 20
years. I think they have the longest drought in the league, don't they?
Let me check here.
I just did a search for Cleveland Browns playoff drought. How long is the Browns playoff drought? 17 seasons.
Your computer went. Are you sure you typed that right?
It says
no. It was 2002. I told you.
They only had
they
2
made the playoffs,
seasons,
9-7.
One playoff appearance in 2002 since they basically were reformed after the real Browns moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens. So this franchise has only had 1 playoff appearance in 2002. And that is, 17 years ago, it'll be 18. But it looks like they might make it this year.
Well, it seems they haven't won a playoff game since 94 either. Because they lost in the wild card round in 2002 and they lost in the divisional round in 94.
And keep in mind, I don't even think that was the same Browns, was it? Wasn't that when they were still the Ravens?
Yes, because they skipped a year and what?
The current franchise, if you take it back to their history when they were formed, they have only made the playoffs in 2002 and lost that. No playoff wins ever in their franchise history. Although I think as part of that deal, Cleveland keeps the history of the Cleveland Browns when they existed as the Ravens, which is footnotes. Either way, it's a long time coming. I'm sure that there will be some big celebrations and some couch burnings in Cleveland along the lake if they make the playoffs, even if they don't win a playoff game, just to be there. So,
playoffs started today.
Beware in Cleveland.
Playoffs started today. They'd be in them. So yeah, but we'll see. They got December's going to be a tough month for them. We're going to see what they're made of. Other than that, anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
By next week, we'll know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll know if we make the playoffs.
Who's going to playoffs? Who's going to play golf? Well, you guys playing golf anyways.
Exactly.
We're playing golf because it's been so painful to watch.
That is
our Philadelphia Eagles, and I know this game against Green Bay is going to be uglier than ugly.
That's the one thing.
But it'll be much, much more enjoyable being out on the links.
I'm jealous of you guys.
Embrace Jamar Chase.
You guys are out there where golf season doesn't end. We finally had ungolfable weekends finally showed up a couple weekends ago. Like now me and my one buddy just go to a simulator. Just we're counting down to March. You guys are out. You get to go golfing on Christmas if you want.
Got snow in the ground in Detroit now?
Yeah, we did this week. Yeah, we got a couple inches Monday and Tuesday. Good times.
Well, we had a high of 65 today, a low in the 30s at night.
Ooh. Yeah. Must be nice. Gotta love out west.
We'll have to wear a sweatshirt out on the golf course or a light jacket. Or long sleeves. That's about it.
Oh, yeah, there's been coats on the golf course here for the last, 6 weeks or so. Anyway, make sure you set your lineups. This is it. Last week of the regular season. Follow us on Twitter at The Fantasy Hack. Like us on Facebook if you got questions on Sunday morning. Hit us up with them, or you can always email us, thefantasyhack@christophermedia.net, which is where you go. You hit the Amazon banner while you're ordering all your Christmas stuff. You click through the banner there. We get a little something extra, and your bottom line doesn't. So everybody wins. You get to help us out. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Or if you just want to give us money, just drop the pretense. Give us cash. Click on the PayPal banner. You can subscribe using that as well. And, make sure you drop us a rating wherever you listen to the podcast, a rating or a review or both, at Spotify, at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to a podcast. I'm sure I'm forgetting somewhere because that is how many places you can listen to podcasts now. So thank you for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Adios, amigos.
Mucha suerte, mis amigos.
Discovery Plus is the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Woohoo! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love. Of all the streaming services out there, only one is different. Discovery Plus. It's the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes of food, love, true crime, home, from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Yes! With stars like Chip and Jo, an exclusive new series from 90 Day Fiancé, all in one place. Bam! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.